You're joining the Dr. Business Podcast with Dr. Hollen Meyer, where we talk business sprinkled with a bit of Jesus. Our goal is to help you simplify business, impact more lives, and increase your profitability. By sharing the stories of influential doctors from various specialties, we help you get creative in connecting with your target market, increasing your exposure in the community, and collaborating with local providers so you can reach more people and avoid burnout. Thanks for tuning in, and we're excited to help you navigate success in your doctor business. And now your host, Dr. Hollen Meyer.
And welcome back to another podcast. I'm Dr. Hollen Meyer, and today we're going to be doing a devotional, and this is where we sprinkle a little bit of Jesus onto business. We're going to talk today about how to get unstuck and launch and take that leap of faith. I'm going to get started by reading in Luke 5, verses 4 through 11. Now, it starts off by saying, when he had finished speaking, he said to Simon, "Launch into the deep water and let down the nets for a catch." Simon answered, "Master, we've worked hard all night and haven't caught anything. But because you say so, I will let down my nets." When they had done so, they caught such a large number of fish that their nets began to break. So they signaled their partners in the other boat to come and help them. And they came and filled both boats so full that they began to sink. When Simon Peter saw this, he fell at Jesus' knees and said, "Go away from me, Lord, I am a sinful man." For he and all his companions were astonished at the catch of fish they had taken, and so were James and John, the sons of Zebedee, Simon's partners. Then Jesus said to Simon, "Don't be afraid. From now on you will fish for people." So they pulled their boats up on shore, left everything, and followed him. Okay, guys, so today we're going to chat about launching and taking that leap of faith into the deep end. And it might be to launch a new business or record a video or do a Facebook Live, maybe to make the phone call or even to forgive someone. But in Luke 5, verse 4, Jesus told Simon to launch out into the deep and let your nets down for a catch. And I want us to think for a moment. Why do you suppose that Jesus used a word like launch? If you are feeling stuck in your business, or stuck in life, this devotion is for you. Even if you feel like you could be doing more or should be doing more. Simon could have followed his senses and ignored the whole situation. He was already out there. He didn't catch anything, but he chose to obey. And he didn't know it at the time, but his choice in that moment was a pivotal point for the rest of his life. Now, I want you to think, is there something tugging at your heart that you know you need to do? Are you tippy-toeing around something that you know you should launch or you should take action on? Is it hiring somebody or even firing someone? Is it getting out in the public and working on your ability to communicate your message effectively? Maybe collaborating on a difficult case. But the choice to launch and to take that leap of faith will be the difference in the outcome for you. And you may need to relaunch maybe, but please don't forget to consult God and have him be the center of your launch this time. In the deep is where you'll find what you are looking for, not in the shallow end. The shallow end is our comfort zone. That's where we tend to stay because it's comfortable, it's easy, we're cruising along. But I want to challenge you to go out into the deep end because that's where we have to have faith, and that's where magic really happens. And I'm sure many of us could have said to Simon in the story with his initial response, was, "We've worked hard and haven't caught anything." And maybe even responding something like, "The deep isn't even where the fish are." But I want to challenge you to also finish Simon's response by saying, "But because you say so, I will let down the nets." And I want you to kind of repeat that in your head, and that tug at your heart might be God telling you something. I want your response to be, "Because you say so, let's do it." It's about obedience and faith. Now step out into faith and do the thing that's been tugging at your heart, no matter how simple, no matter how small. or how huge it might be. Step out of your comfort zone and step into faith. Do the thing that makes you uncomfortable, the thing that makes you sweat a little bit and give you a little bit of a fast heart race even. And it means you are alive. So get out there and start living. I also want to point out that Simon Peter was commanded to let down his nets. Nets meaning plural. I bet Simon was thinking, my goodness, I've been out here for hours, working really hard, and I've caught nothing. Now Jesus wants me to trust him and let out multiple nets and go to a place that obviously is not the location for success and launch not only one, but two nets, let out all of my nets. And he wants us to go all in and completely trust him. Sometimes nothing about it makes sense, right? But I'm sure many of us in business and in life too have thought something like this at one point or another. In my experience, most of the time, folks seem to want to go all in, right? And I'm guilty of it too. I want to go all in. And they get right to the edge of going all in. And instead of launching and jumping into full action and putting everything on the line, from your finances to your reputation, to do what you were called to do, sometimes we tend to inch up to the edge, put one leg over and bring it back. Then look over the edge and talk themselves out of doing the big things and launching into action, or asking so many people that they give you the answer of the comfort zone. So if you find yourself asking one more person or needing to talk to one more person before you make your decision, that is you playing it safe in the comfort zone. And I want to encourage you to pray about it. And if it's still tugging at your heart, take massive action on that. What is holding you back? Really investigate that, because a lot of times the things that are holding you back is actually costing you opportunity, costing you money, and most importantly, it might be costing somebody else's life because you're not taking action. Sometimes we launch, but we still don't go all in. We don't go all in for the long haul. Sometimes we play it safe and it kind of fizzles out, But God wants us to go all in. He wants us to go all in and have faith in him so that we can experience his love and his miracle and show others his love and his grace. Going back to the story in the Bible, when he let down his nets, it began to fill up with so many fish that the nets began to break. Are you kidding me? They even had to call in additional boats to come and help them. They caught so many fish that their boats began to sink. They were blessed beyond their wildest dreams, far beyond what they could ever think or even comprehend at the moment. And God wants to bless you in that way too. God wants to give you more than you can ever imagine. In Ephesians 3, verse 20, it's one of my favorites. It says, "Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than we can ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us." God wants to bless you in this way too. We can learn from this story that it does take obedience and faith with massive action to launch into the deep end, get out of your comfort zone. God said, do not be afraid. He also commanded us to go and fish for people. Show people who God is, what he's capable of. Let them see your faith. Let them see God's love and his grace and his mercy. Let God use you to perform a miracle today. Not next week, not tomorrow, but today. Do this all for God's glory and not your own, for his will to be done and not your own. Now, I'm talking to doctors on this podcast, right? It is your duty to go out and help people. Not only because you're in healthcare, but because it's what you're called to do. So I want you to take from this the urgency in this message. If your business isn't where you want it to be, or you know you could do more, I'm talking to you. This message is for you. You are in the right place at the right time listening to this message for a reason. So take it to heart. And I'm in this zone more than ever, and I want to quickly share with you what I've been going through over the past 16 months. Many of you know that at the end of 2018, I almost died from an ectopic pregnancy, and I lost more than a third of my blood. I had many transfusions as well, and God spared my life that day, October 4th, 2018, and I have completely changed my perspective. I have a new perspective on life. And I mean, some things like I could care less what people think about me and my decisions. It has truly been freeing for me. And I'm sharing this lesson with you so that it may accelerate your journey and you won't have to experience an ounce of what I've been through over the last 16 months. I've realized that God wasn't picking on me, but rather He picked me to share the power of His grace, love, and mercy. Now, fast forward to today, I'm pregnant again with a little baby boy due on April 1st. So I just want you to kind of take inventory of what's going on in your life, what excuses you have, and really gain a new perspective of what that might be doing for you, not necessarily happening to you. And I want to close out by challenging you to launch. But don't stop there. I want you to go all in. And to get unstuck in life, to get unstuck in business, we have to take the focus off of ourselves and put 100% of your focus on God and His calling for this season in your life, and do it with excellence. Don't just go through the motions. Don't stay in the shallow end of the comfort zone. Do it with excellence and go all in, no matter how big or how small the job might seem to you. You must be obedient. And that, my friends, takes faith and massive action. So thanks so much, guys, for joining me today on this episode to listen to some incredible interviews with influential doctors and some business geniuses. I want you to be sure to subscribe to the Dr. Business Podcast so that you don't miss a thing. Thanks for tuning in, and stay classy, folks.